Good morning. This is kind of a long time between my first little talk and the second one. And mainly it's been because so many things are happening in my life, not necessarily in the physical, but on the inner levels. Things are happening, things are changing. My awareness is shifting, widening. And I thought after the first video that people tuning in would say, who is this character? Why should I listen to him? Why should I bother? What's he doing that I should pay attention to him? And basically, I'm not anybody special. I'm just someone who's going through the journey of life, having experiences, and thought maybe if I shared some of them, it would help others who were making the same journey. So the first thing I thought was perhaps I should tell who I am so you can relate and realize that, I'm just somebody else taking the same journey. I was born in, a World War II baby. My father was killed in the Pacific a few months after I was born, and I never really knew him. My mother remarried, probably within a couple of years, because I have a sister who is 5 years behind me. But the pivotal event came, well, let me back up a little, that my stepdad, who I grew up thinking was my dad, was the all-American dad. He was, my friend. We built models. He taught me to ride a bike. He was just everything that a father should be. The event that was pivotal to my life came when I was around 7, and it turned out he was a bigamist. And being in the service, the Navy caught up with him and came and took him away. That event shaped who I am. It was pivotal, and I will come back to that different times and explain more of what happened and how it made me who I am. But at that time, this was the early 50s, we were living in my hometown, which is a Navy town in New England. And after he was gone, my mother had no means of support, so we moved in with my grandmother. Now, this is a New England Irish Catholic, early 50s. My mother was the Scarlet Woman. She had married a bigamist. All the things that they heaped on her. And I raged at them for the pain they were putting her through, what they were doing to me. And I raged at my mother, too, for doing, how the hell could she bring this guy into her life and cause all this pain? To a 7-year-old, that's logical. From this, I rebelled. I was not malicious, but I was angry with the world for what they were doing to me. I didn't want all this pain and things that I was having. I was juvenile delinquent, truant from school. I was a good student when I was there. I never missed the honor roll. It's kind of funny, so go 2, maybe 3 days a week and still stay on the honor roll. It was mainly running away from home, stealing cars to go away, that type of thing. Nothing malicious, but just me trying to make sense and make people around me understand what I felt, what I was feeling, what I was experiencing. Eventually, I grew up. My mother had remarried again. This time, my stepdad, another sailor, believe it or not, was from Indiana. We went to his hometown when he retired from the service. That's where I met my wife. And my life went on from there. I married, had a couple of daughters, had my own businesses. Realized that what it takes for the business world I had 2 restaurants of my own. I was working 20 hours a day, 7 days a week. Had a nice house, new car, pretty wife, little baby, and never got to enjoy any of it. It was all work, work, work. And I made a conscious choice at that time that it wasn't worth it. What I wanted out of life was the family, the connections, and that putting all that time into business and that was not worth it. So I dumped both restaurants, made a total change in my life, and it led me, my nose is itching. It led me to Texas, where I spent some time there, long enough to learn that wasn't a place to be. But it brought about the connections that brought me to Vegas, and I've been here for almost consistently, since the late 60s. While here I had 2 different careers, one in food service. I continued working in food and restaurants and stuff, worked in the hotels. Again, realized that the bullshit that goes in the hotels, the kiss ass, the who you know, not what you do, what you can do, what your abilities are, but who you know, and that again didn't suit me, so I